Now, good morning to all of you. Now, today we have discussed about a circular motion. What is meant by circular motion? Okay, consider a one of the object, okay, which is moving in a circular path with a velocity v. Okay, consider one of the object here. Okay, consider one of the object having a mass m. Okay, this object can be moved in a circular path. Okay, this object can be moved in a circular path having a radius r and the velocity of that object is v. Then we have to find out, okay, this kind of motion. This kind of motion is known as a circular motion. Okay, when the object moving in a circular path, then we have to discuss the motion of that particle, that is known as a circular motion. Okay, now consider an object or body, an object having mass m moving in a circular path. Okay, moving in a circular path having a radius r. Circular path having a radius capital R, having a radius r, and the velocity of particle and the velocity of body and the velocity of body or object, velocity of object is v. Okay, now one of the body having a mass m moving in a circular path having a radius r and the velocity of that particle or object is v. Okay, then in previous chapter, okay, previous chapter you have already studied that when the object moving in a circular path, okay, then that is uniform circular motion. Okay, you have to already study uniform circular motion. Okay, then the acceleration of uniform circular motion, then the acceleration of the object. Then what is the acceleration when the object is in uniform circular motion? Okay, then the acceleration of the object, then the acceleration of the object, acceleration of the object is, okay, in uniform circular motion, what is the acceleration? Tell me, what is the acceleration? A is equal to v square by r. Okay, in uniform circular motion, acceleration A is equal to v square by r. Means this is a uniform circular motion, means this object is moving in a circular path with a constant velocity. Therefore, this is a uniform, that is a this object moving in a uniform circular motion. Therefore, its acceleration is A is equal to v square by r. Okay, and this acceleration, okay, what is the direction of acceleration? This acceleration is directed towards the center, directed towards the center. Okay, in uniform circular motion, okay, in uniform circular motion the acceleration A is v square by r and this acceleration is towards the center, means in that direction this acceleration is towards the center. The direction of acceleration is towards the center. Here is the center. Therefore, when the body is moving in a circular path, okay, when the body is moving in a circular path, in that case here acceleration is towards the center. Okay, then using Newton's third law, then using Newton's third law, using Newton's third law, the force on that object, the force acting on that object, the force act on the object is, okay, what is the force act on the object? That is a Fc, force act on the object. Force is nothing but mass of that object m and acceleration is ac. Okay, therefore mass is nothing but m, acceleration is v square by r. Therefore, the force act on the object is m v square by r. Okay, and this force is known as a centripetal force. This force is known as centripetal force. Centripetal force. What is meant by centripetal force? Centripetal force means the force act on an object which is moving in a circular path. The direction of force is towards the center. The direction of force is towards the center. Therefore, this force is known as a centripetal force. Centripetal force means the direction of force acting on that object is towards the center. Means the direction of the acceleration is towards the center. Therefore, direction of force is also towards the center. Means when the object is moving in a circular path, when the object is moving in a circular path, when the object is moving in a circular path, okay, itla circular path lo move ayetappudu, when the object is moving in a circular path, itla circular path lo move ayetappudu, then the force act on the object is towards the center. Therefore, this force is act towards the center, means acceleration is towards the center, means force is also act towards the center. Therefore, this kind of force is known as a centripetal force. Therefore, centripetal force act on an object which is moving in a circular object is mv square by r. Okay, the acceleration is v square by r. Therefore, using Newton's second law, force is nothing but mass into acceleration, and in that case the force F is equal to mass is nothing but m. Using equation 1, the acceleration is v square by r. Therefore, force is m v square by r, and the direction of force is towards the center. Therefore, this force is known as a centripetal force. Means when the object is moving in a circular motion or moving in a circular path, in that case whatever force is act, that force is mv square by r, and this force is acted towards the center. Therefore, this kind of force is known as a centripetal force. Now we have discussed the applications of circular motion. Okay, there are many applications. Okay, applications of circular motion, of circular motion. Okay, then you know that sun is in a solar system. Okay, now this is the sun. Sun is situated at the center, and many planet can be revolved in a circular path. Okay, means other planet revolved in a circular path. Okay, sun is at the center. Now sun is at the center and other planet move around the sun. Okay, these are number of planets can be move around the sun. Okay, when the planets moves around the sun, in that case the planet, on that planet, okay, the force act is towards the center, means towards the sun. Okay, the centripetal force act on the other planets. Okay, when the other planets move around the sun, the force act on the other planets is towards the center. Therefore, this force is known as a centripetal force. Okay, when the planet revolve around the sun, the force acting on the planets towards the sun is known as a centripetal force, is known as the centripetal force. And similarly, do you know that when you drop one object, then that object is moved towards the earth. In that case, the on that object whatever the gravitational force is there, that gravitational force is nothing but a centripetal force. When you have removed the object from air, that object can be moved towards the earth. Therefore, that is gravitational force is nothing but the gravitational force can be created due to the centripetal force acting on that object by the earth. Means earth valla edaina centripetal force act aithe, that centripetal force is nothing but a gravitational force. Okay, means the gravitational force will be generated due to the centripetal force, okay, by the earth. Okay, means earth create a centripetal force when the object is moving around the sun. Due to that any planets can be move towards the sun. Okay, similarly, when you have removed the objects, then that objects move towards the earth. That is due to the gravitational force. The gravitational force will be generated due to the centripetal force. Okay, now next application, motion of a car on a level road. Okay, this is a applications, general application. Now in our syllabus we have two applications: motions of a car on a level road. We have discussed that motion of a car on a level road means the car moving in a circular path. Okay, similarly the car can be moving in a circular path, okay, moving in a circular road. Similarly the car can be moving in a circular road, okay, but the road is a level road. Okay, the road is a level road. Okay, the road is a level road. On that road, suppose the car is traveling on that road. Okay, see, this is the, now we have to say this is the one of the car. Okay, the car can be traveling on a circular road. Okay, and the road is a level road. Okay, means when there will be a circular turning is there, when there will be a circular turning is there, on that circular turning, suppose the road will be a level, then what happen? Okay, when the road will be a level, then motion of a car on a level road. Motion of a car on a level road. Okay, now consider the mass of the car is m. Okay, mass of the car is m. Then on that car, how many forces can be act? In that car, okay, the normal force is normal to the objects in a upward direction, and the gravitational force act on the car is mg, and that is frictional force. The frictional force or pseudo force, that is static friction. Okay, then you know that when the object, okay, see here, when the object is moving in a circular path, when the car is moving in a circular path, itla turn lo move etappudu, when the car is moving in a circular path, in that case what happen? All that objects inside the car can be bent outside the circle, bends outside of the car. Means when you are moving in a circular path, all objects can be moving in a outside, but that car, on that car, some shadow force can be act. That shadow force is towards the center. That shadow force is act towards the center, and that shadow force is known as a frictional force. Means in that case, the static friction is acts towards the center, and normal force act in a normal to that car, and the gravitational force act in a downward direction. Okay, then we have to see the forces act the motion of a car on a level road. In that case, there are three forces act on the car. There are three forces act on the car. Okay, first force, normal reactant force N, and the gravitational force mg. Normal reactant force N is act normal to the object. Next, gravitational force mg. Okay, gravitational force mg acts in a downward direction. And next is a frictional force, that is a static frictional. Okay, frictional force F is acts towards the center. In that case also, the radius of the path is r. When the object can be moves in a circular path and the road is a level road, in that case, on that car there will be a three kind of forces can be act. Normal reactant force N, gravitational force mg, and frictional force F. See, in that case, this frictional force is in the horizontal direction, the normal reactant force and mg in the vertical direction. Therefore, the net force act in the vertical direction is 0. Therefore, in a vertical direction, no acceleration can be act. In a vertical direction, no acceleration can be act. In a vertical direction, no acceleration can be act. Means the acceleration is 0. Means that is the acceleration is 0 in a vertical direction. The acceleration is 0 in the vertical direction. Means there will be no acceleration can be act in the vertical direction. Therefore, the acceleration is 0 in the vertical direction. In the vertical direction, there will be no acceleration. Means in a vertical direction, how many forces? N minus mg. N in the upward direction and mg in the downward direction. Therefore, the total force is N minus mg is equal to 0. That is N minus mg is equal to 0. Now, this is the equation number 3. N minus mg is equal to 0. Okay. Therefore, N is equal to mg. Now, this is the equation number 3. Means in a vertical direction, mg is 0. Therefore, normal reactant force is equal to mg. Now, in a horizontal direction. Now, in the horizontal direction. Now, in the horizontal direction, okay, which friction force in the horizontal direction? In a horizontal direction, only a friction force can be act, and this friction force, okay, this friction force is analogous. This friction force is analogous to the centripetal force. This friction force is analogous to the centripetal force. Okay, in the horizontal direction, the frictional force, okay, the frictional force is due to, okay, why that frictional force will be generated? This frictional force is due to the centripetal force. Due to the centripetal force. Means whatever the frictional force is there, that frictional force is equal to the centripetal force. Means that is a frictional force is equal to centripetal force. Centripetal force. Okay, frictional force is equal to centripetal force. Then what is a frictional force? Then you know that. Okay, frictional force is equal to centripetal force. Means then centripetal force. What is a centripetal force? mv square by r. Then what is a frictional force? Frictional force is nothing but a static friction. Okay, frictional force is nothing but a static friction which is less than or equal to mu s into n. Okay, frictional force we have to see in a static friction, that is static friction is less than equal to mu s into n, and this static friction is equal to centripetal force, that is centripetal force is mv square by r. Okay, therefore when the static friction having a maximum limit, okay, when static friction is a maximum limit, when fs is maximum, when the fs is maximum, then mu s into n. When static friction is maximum, then maximum static friction is equal to mu s into n. Okay, then whatever the velocity is there, then that velocity is also a maximum velocity. When the static friction having a maximum value, then maximum static friction is equal to mu s into n. In that case, whatever the velocity is there, that velocity is also maximum. Therefore, the maximum static friction is equal to mu s into n. This is equal to m maximum velocity square divided by r. Means m v maximum square divided by r. Okay, by using this we have to find out the maximum. See here, maximum static friction is equal to mu s into n, which is equal to m v maximum square divided by r. Okay, only we have to find out a v maximum square. V maximum square is equal to mu s n into r, cross multiplication divided by m. Okay, divided by m. Then using equation 3. Okay, using equation 3. What is the using equation 3? Mu s is as it is, n is nothing but mg into r divided by m is equal to maximum velocity square. M cancel, therefore maximum velocity square is equal to mu s gr. Therefore maximum velocity square is equal to mu s into gr, mu s gr. Therefore taking square root on both sides, taking square root on both sides, taking square root on both sides, what is maximum velocity is equal to under root mu s gr. Okay, this is the maximum velocity range when the object traveling in a circular path and the road is a level road. This is the maximum speed or velocity. This is the maximum speed of the object traveling in a level road, traveling in a level road. This is the maximum speed of an object which is traveling in a level road. Now next we have to see next application, motion of a car on a banked road. Means what happen, do you know, you have to see in many places when you have traveled in a corner area. Okay, means when you have traveled in a road, okay, wherever corner is present, wherever road is crossed, means in a corner road, you know that in the corner road the outer edge will be a higher than a lower edge. Means outer edge will be a higher. Means మీరు ఇట్లా కార్నర్ లో మూవ్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు అవుటర్ రోడ్ ఏదైనా ఉంటుంది కదా, అవుటర్ రోడ్ ఏముంటుంది, outer road is higher, outer road is higher as compared to the lower, that is a lower road, or outer edge will be a higher as compared to the lower edge. Means when you have traveled in a circular path, okay, in that case this is the level road, but the road in a outer edge will be a higher as compared to the lower edge. Means the outer edge will be a higher as compared to the lower edge. This is known as a banked road. When the object is traveled in a banked road, in that case this is the center, and this is the radius. Okay, this is the radius of the circular path. Means the object is moving in a circular path. Okay, when the object is traveling in a banked road, when the car is traveling in a banked road means outer edge is more as compared to the lower edge. Okay, now this is the car and this is the angle theta. Okay, now whatever the forces act on that car, the force act, that is a n will be act is normal towards the car, n act normal towards the car, and mg act in a downward direction. Okay, now the frictional force is towards this direction. Okay, frictional force F is towards this direction. Okay, frictional force is this direction, normal force is normal to the object, normal to the car, gravitational force in a downward direction. Okay, and this angle, that is a banking angle, is a theta. What is mean by banking angle? Okay, the angle between a horizontal surface, to the banked road is known as a banking angle. Okay, what is mean by banking angle? The angle between horizontal surface to the banked road is called banking angle. Okay, and this angle is a theta. Now when the car is traveling in a banked road having a mass m and moving with a speed v. In that case, on that car there will be a three forces. N is a normal to that car, mg in a downward direction, and frictional force is towards this direction. And in that case the centripetal force, act in that direction, that is the centripetal force act in that direction. Means now this is the figure of car, motion of a car on a banked road, motion of a car on a banked road. Okay, banked road. Now this is the n is normal to that car, mg is in downward direction, frictional force is in that direction, and that is the centripetal force is towards the center. From here the center is here, therefore the centripetal force is not in the, this is the frictional force and centripetal force direction is this, therefore free body diagram. Now we have to draw free body diagram. Free body diagram is nothing but we have to only represent the all kinds of forces. Okay, free body diagram. Now this is the mg is in downward direction. Okay, now n is the normal to the object. Now this is the friction, static friction is in that direction. Okay, static friction is in that direction. Okay, this is the only three kinds. Okay, now see here, this angle is theta. See here, this angle is a theta. This angle is theta. Therefore, now see here, this angle is theta. Therefore, this angle is also theta. Okay, means this is the normal. Okay, this is the, that is a centripetal force direction. Okay, this is the centripetal force direction. Okay, now this angle is theta, this angle is theta, therefore this angle is also theta, means this angle is a theta, this angle is theta. Now see here, this is the normal reactant force, this is the mg force, and this is the frictional force. Okay, now this angle is a theta, therefore now we have to resolve this static friction. Now we have to resolve this static friction along a horizontal direction and vertical direction. Okay, when you have to resolve, this angle is a theta, therefore the resolution of static friction along a horizontal direction, this angle is a theta, therefore this is nothing but f static friction into cos theta, and the resolution of that is static friction along a vertical direction, that is fs sin theta. Now we have to resolve that static friction along a horizontal direction is fs cos theta, along a vertical direction is fs sin theta. Now similarly we have to resolve this normal reactant. Okay, normal reactant along a vertical direction and along a horizontal direction. Now this angle is theta, means this total angle is 90. This total angle is 90. This angle is common in between this and this, therefore this angle is theta, therefore this angle is also theta. When this angle is theta, we have to resolve n, then this is a n cos theta, and this is nothing but a n sin theta. See here, this angle is theta. Okay, this total angle is 90, means this is a common angle, therefore this angle is theta, therefore this angle is theta. We have to resolve n is resolved along a vertical direction, that is a n cos theta, n is resolved along a horizontal direction, that is a sin theta. Okay, see here, n cos theta and n sin theta, means along a vertical direction, in a upward direction, that is a n cos theta, in a downward direction fs sin theta and mg. Okay, in that case this direction is nothing but a direction of a centripetal force, means centripetal force is due to fs cos theta and n sin theta. Therefore see here, this is the free body diagram, mg is in downward direction, n is the normal, and this is the static friction. Now this angle is theta. Why this angle is theta? See here, in that figure this angle is theta, therefore this angle is also theta, therefore this angle is theta. Okay, therefore this angle is theta, therefore we have to resolve the static friction along a vertical direction and along a horizontal direction. Along a horizontal direction, Fs we have to resolve, that is Fs cos theta. Along a vertical direction, Fs sin theta. This angle is theta, this total angle is 90, therefore this angle is theta, therefore this angle is 90 minus theta, therefore again this angle is theta. Therefore we have to resolve n along a vertical direction and horizontal direction. Therefore this is a n cos theta and this is the n sin theta. Now understand this. Now next, along vertical direction, along vertical direction there is no acceleration. Okay, in a vertical direction there is a no acceleration can be act, means acceleration is 0. Okay, acceleration is 0, therefore total force along a vertical direction is 0. Therefore n cos theta minus this n cos theta is in upward direction, therefore n cos theta in a downward direction minus mg and minus Fs sin theta is equal to 0. Means n is in upward direction, therefore n cos theta, and downward direction, that is mg and Fs sin theta, therefore minus mg minus Fs sin theta. Okay, then from that we can write n cos theta is equal to mg plus Fs sin theta. Now this is, we have to write, this is the equation 3, this is the equation 4. Okay, now we have to write this is equation as 1. Direct we can write this is equation 1. Therefore n cos theta is equal to mg plus Fs sin theta. Okay, only in a horizontal direction, no acceleration, therefore total force becomes 0. This n cos theta is in upward direction, Fs sin theta and mg sin theta is in downward direction, therefore n cos theta minus mg minus Fs sin theta is equal to 0. Therefore n cos theta is equal to mg plus Fs sin theta. Now in a horizontal direction, now see here, in the horizontal direction, that is Fs cos theta and n sin theta, in a horizontal direction that is a centripetal force, means in a horizontal direction the force is only a centripetal force, therefore the centripetal force is equal to Fs cos theta plus n sin theta. Okay, in a horizontal direction, in a horizontal direction, in a horizontal direction, centripetal force is present, means in a horizontal direction centripetal force is act, therefore centripetal force, okay, therefore centripetal force is equal to Fs cos theta plus n sin theta. Okay, then we know that what is the centripetal force, mv square by r is equal to, this is the centripetal force, is equal to Fs cos theta plus n sin theta. Fs cos theta plus n sin theta. Okay, centripetal force is Fs cos theta plus n sin theta. Now this is the equation 2. Okay, from now this is the equation 1, that is n cos theta is equal to mg plus Fs sin theta, and equation 2 is mv square by r is equal to Fs cos theta plus n sin theta. Okay, but we know that that is static friction. Okay, that is a static friction is less than equal to mu s into n, therefore maximum static friction, okay, maximum static friction is equal to mu s into n. Okay, then if whatever velocity is there, that velocity is a maximum velocity, means mu s is less than equal to Fs is less than equal to mu s into n, therefore maximum static friction is equal to mu s into n. When will be the maximum static friction is there? When the velocity is maximum, then that static friction is maximum is equal to mu s into n. Okay, now substitute this equation Now substitute equation 2 or using equation 2 in 1 and 2. Substitute equation 3 in 1 and 2. Okay, that is maximum static friction mu s into n, means wherever the static friction is present, in place of static friction you can write mu s into n in equation 1 and in equation 2. Then what is the equation 1 become? Okay, here is fs is present, in place of fs you can write mu s into n. Therefore n cos theta, okay, n cos theta is equal to, that is mg, as it is wherever fs static friction is present you can write mu s into n into sin theta plus mu s into n into sin theta. Now this is the equation 4, and here wherever velocity is present you can write that is the maximum velocity. Therefore m v maximum square divided by r is equal to, wherever static friction is present you can write mu s into n, that is mu s into n cos theta plus n sin theta. Okay, now this is the equation number 5. This is the equation 4 and equation 5. Now using that equation, okay, now using equation 4, okay, using equation 4 we can write, okay, now using equation 4, now using equation 4, see here how you can derive using equation 4. Now using equation 4, what is the equation 4? N cos theta is equal to mg plus mu s into sin theta. Okay, mu s into n into sin theta, mu s n into sin theta, which here is in right hand side you can take to a left hand side, that is n cos theta minus mu s into n into sin theta, which is equal to mg. Okay, now from both of these you can take a n is common, that is cos theta minus mu s into sin theta, which is equal to mg. Now therefore n is equal to, this cos theta minus mu s sin theta is in another direction, means that is n is equal to mg into cos theta minus mu s into sin theta. Now this is the equation 6. Okay, see here. Okay, see here what you can change in equation 4 by using equation 4. What is the equation 4? That is this, n cos theta is equal to mg plus mu s n into sin theta. Okay, from that mu s n sin theta, from right to it takes from left, means that is n cos theta minus mu s n sin theta is equal to mg. You can take a n is common, therefore n into cos theta minus mu s into sin theta is equal to mg. Therefore n is equal to mg divided by cos theta minus mu s into sin theta. This is the equation 6. Now we have to substitute equation 6 in equation 5. Substitute equation 6 in equation 5. Now substitute equation 6 in 5. Substitute equation 6 in equation 5. Okay, wherever n is present you can put mg divided by cos theta minus sin theta. Okay, in equation 5 here is n present, here is n present, therefore m maximum velocity square divided by r is equal to, here is n present. Okay, see here is n present, therefore in place of n you can write mg divided by cos theta minus sin theta. Therefore mu s into, in place of n you can write mg, okay, divided by cos theta minus mu s sin theta. Okay, and here is only cos theta is present, therefore in place of cos theta we can write cos theta plus mu s into, in place of n you can write mg divided by cos theta minus mu s sin theta, mu s sin theta. Okay, into here is sin theta is present. Okay, see here, mu s mg cos theta divided by cos theta minus mu s sin theta plus mu s mg sin theta. Okay, this is divided by cos theta minus sin theta. Okay, now after substituting equation 6 in equation 5, m v maximum square divided by r is equal to mu s mg cos theta divided by cos theta minus mu s sin theta plus mu s mg sin theta divided by cos theta minus mu s sin theta. In both the terms, mu s cos theta minus mu s sin theta is common, therefore you can write in denominator cos theta minus mu s sin theta, and we have to adding the numerator. Okay, that is in numerator also mu s mg we have to take a common, mu s mg we have to take a common, then that is a cos theta plus sin theta will be remaining, that is a m v maximum square divided by r is equal to mu s mg we can take a common, cos theta plus sin theta divided by cos theta minus mu s into sin theta. Now this cos theta divided by cos theta and sin theta divided by cos theta here is also means in right hand side we have to divide this cos theta, we have to take from here to in denominator, therefore you can write mu s mg. Okay, that is cos theta divided by cos theta plus sin theta divided by cos theta. Similarly in denominator is also cos theta divided by cos theta, okay, minus mu s sin theta divided by cos theta. See here in left hand side as it is m v maximum square divided by r. Okay, here m cancel. Okay, therefore v maximum square divided by r is equal to mu s into g, cos theta divided by cos theta cancel, only 1 plus sin theta divided by cos theta is nothing but tan theta, cos theta plus sin theta is nothing but a tan theta divided by cos theta divided by cos theta is 1 minus mu s sin theta divided by cos theta is tan theta. Okay, therefore maximum velocities v maximum square divided by r is equal to mu s g into 1 plus tan theta divided by 1 minus mu s into tan theta. Therefore v maximum square is equal to mu s g into r into 1 plus tan theta divided by 1 minus mu s tan theta, mu s into tan theta. Now therefore v maximum taking square root on both side, v maximum is equal to under root of mu s g r into 1 plus tan theta divided by 1 minus mu s into tan theta. Okay, this is the maximum speed of a vehicle when it is traveled in a banked road. Okay, this is the maximum speed of a vehicle's maximum speed of a car when travels in a banked road. Okay, this is the maximum speed, this is the maximum speed of a car, maximum speed of a car traveling in a banked road, traveling in a banked road, traveling in a banked road. In that case maximum velocity is equal to under root mu s g into r into 1 plus tan theta divided by 1 minus mu s into tan theta. Here mu s is the coefficient of a static friction, mu s is the coefficient of static friction, g is the acceleration due to gravity, that is 9.8 meter per second square, r is the radius of a circular path, and here theta is the banking angle, theta is the banking angle. Okay, if they can give all that physical quantity, we have to find out the maximum limit of a speed, maximum speed in which we have to travel. Okay, means beyond that velocity, beyond that speed, if your vehicle is traveled more than that speed, then your vehicle will be fall down, or your vehicle will be slip down, or your vehicle will be skid up. Okay, means if you can travel more than this velocity, your vehicle can't travel safely, means your vehicles will be a skid it down. Okay, therefore this is the maximum velocity when the vehicle travels in a banked road. Here mu s is the coefficient of a static friction, g is the acceleration due to gravity, r is the radius of the circular path, tan is the banking angle. Okay, this is the maximum velocity when the vehicles travels in a banked road. Okay, now today we have stopped here.